Okay, we're live. Welcome, welcome. If you're watching the VOD. So today, it should populate, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So today the plan is to continue with the file creator, or file uploader, I should say. Let me get, there we go. All right, there's chat. And so last time we made the back end work with Better Off. So the next step is to use that Better Off API in conjunction with the front end to make an authentication flow. So that's basically what we're doing. Again, more with authentication today. So if authentication bores you, then stay tuned. Hopefully by next stream, I'll get started on the actual file uploader part, like the drive aspect, right? So anyway, that's the plan for today. So we'll see if we can finish this in 2.5 hours. I don't know if we can, but we'll try. So let's get started. So I just imported some components here. Just always like to have this open as well. While I do. Yo, how's it going, Jay? Hope you're doing well today, my friend. Okay, so I think the first thing I want to do is let's add the sign up and the sign in. Oh no, actually, I want to add the context first, right? Yo, how's it going, Yash? Welcome. So I'm going to do auth provider.tsx, and then I'm going to add this as a context. So we're going to need probably, so this is theme provider context. I'm going to kind of go off of this to kind of serve as a reference. So I'm going to say const auth provider context. Is that how this was? Or no, export function theme provider. Okay, so content auth provider. It's going. I'm working on my final for a class, so I'll be listening in. Sounds like a plan. Today is going to be pretty chill. I think we're just going to be, as I mentioned a little bit ago, I don't know if you caught it, but the plan's basically just to get the front end off working, and we've done this like 4 times already, so this should be quick. And then, basically just hook the front end into the back end for the auth flow, and then hopefully get that done by today. Lock in, and then we're going to actually do the file system shit after that. So that's kind of the plan. So create UI layout for authentication. So yeah. So let's do that. So import. So we're going to need to create types for these two, right? So there's going to be like a user that has an associated type that we're going to need to grab. So let's do import create context. What are the other ones? Use context. And then, so we're going to say const auth provider context is equal to create context. And then, of course, we're going to need to fetch. We're going to need to set a default state, right? So we're just going to say null. But we're also going to need to get that user type in here, right? So the user type is from our, it's actually from the database, I think, right? Because that's where we defined the schema. So we have the user schema here. So technically we need this as, we need to get this as a type, right? So if we go to Postman, for instance, just as an example, I already created a route to get the user if a user is authenticated. Yo, how's it going, Bland? Good day. So if a user is authenticated, for instance, so let's log in here. And then so if we log in, this will. Oh wait. What's wrong here? API auth sign in email. That's what it is. Okay, so we signed in here, and then so we have our user, right? So, and then what we can do is once we've signed in, we can, I wrote a little get, a get route here for the API auth user here. I don't know, I just kind of defined that, and then that'll basically, it'll just fetch this, it'll check whether there's a session, and then if there is, then it'll return the user that is authenticated for that session. Yo, Blueberries, long time no see, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. So if we put a get request to auth user, given the fact that this user is authenticated, this should return our user right here. So we need a type for this, right? Basically, which I think I can export from the database. But yeah, doing good. Getting ready to move apartments. Been busy. Yeah, believe me, I know the feeling. I moved a couple months ago, so I totally get it. It's a really busy time. So I think because I can generate the types by doing. So if we export this const here, and then I'm just trying to remind myself how I did this. Okay, so I export the database, but I should probably export the auth schema as well. So if I import, so let's go to here. Let's say import, let's say auth schema, or no, let's say import from schemas, auth schema as, I think it's, wait, is it, oh, it's as auth schema. That's the syntax, okay. And then we can export auth schema, I think, right? The other thing we're gonna need is in our web here, we're gonna also need the, better auth package, right? So do I have that actually installed? No, I do not. Okay, so let's install that. Because I'm gonna need it for the the auth client anyway, right? Because if I go to better auth, procrastinating packing things up by scrolling YouTube. Yeah, I know. It's tricky. Thankfully, when I moved, I didn't have to bring a lot because we were mostly kind of starting from scratch. But yeah, I think it's a lot harder to pack up than it is to unpack. At least in my experience. That's just me though. Because if I go to concepts client here, I need that for the React here. So, all right, but that's for after we get this working. The other thing I want to do with, I think it's in main, or is it in root? Oh no, index. Sorry. Let's change this to BenStack drive, just so that we change the title there. Okay. So we're exporting our auth schema, and then we need to import that in here, and then I should be able to do import auth schema, or can we not? Oh, because I need to add it as a package. That's right. I need the database package needs to be visible to the web. Actually, which it probably shouldn't, now that I think about it. So what I actually maybe should do here is I should then import this schema into shared, and then I don't know, because it's probably, now that I think about it, it's probably a bad idea to expose the schema to the web, to the front end. So let me think about how to do this differently. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat meowing in the background. He's getting fed right now and he's very hungry. So hold on. Let me think about this. Okay, so we have our schema here. But now that I think about it, I wonder if we should inside of our backend, when we fetch the user, we probably shouldn't return everything about the user, right? Like we probably don't need the user ID and all that in the front end, unless we maybe we do actually. I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, what does the front end need specifically for the user context? Maybe it doesn't even need. Maybe it just needs like the name. Name and the email maybe. So like if we go to our auth controller, why don't we just return like username, email maybe. And then I could type this as well. Okay, so now when we actually like hit this GET request, we're just gonna get the username and the email, which is all we want. So that's good. Because the front end doesn't really need to know anything else, right? So I should probably create let's just delete this actually. We should probably create a new, just thinking, I guess I could do this as a Zod type, just to be consistent. So if we go to new folder, types, no, types, and then new file, we're going to say user types dot. I guess maybe this actually would be under schema, now that I think about it, because we're technically creating a schema. It's okay, you see user schemas. What's wrong with this? Oh, because this needs to be inside a source. There we go. Okay. Have you been getting people coming in here asking why you aren't using AI? Every day. Every day, man. I literally have a command for it now. It cuts off because I didn't think about the character limit, but that's the command for it. You're not too late? No, not at all, Omar. I just started. Brain rotted. Who's brain rotted? I do the same. Yeah, exactly. So let's say const web user session or web user session type. Yeah, const web user session. Then we also need to install Zod in this guy, right? Yeah, so we have Zod here. So we'll import as Z from Zod, right? And then so we'll say that AI brain rot. Yeah, I'm with you, James. I'm not anti-AI, but I'm not anti-learning either. No, I'm the same way, realistically. I'm just anti-AI for learning. I'm not anti-AI. But that's just, again, and even I think there is also a world where we can use AI for learning. That's just not how I like to do it. That's just a personal opinion. I just created a recent project to test if I can still code without AI, but it looks like I still can. Nice plan. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not anti-AI in the sense that like I do see myself adopting it eventually. I just want to like learn, you know. I think what's interesting though about my channel is you don't often see people doing web dev without AI. Sometimes you'll see people that are like programming like graphics libraries in C, or like there's this one dude I saw, shout out, I forget his name, but he's making a Minecraft clone in C++, which is really cool. So like you see those kinds of people working without AI, but like not very often do you see people doing like web dev without AI, I feel like. I'm going crazy trying to get OBS plugins to work. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart for sure. Dude, OBS is kind of a little bit finicky for me. Yo, Jeremy, how's it going? Let me actually get working here. So we'll do z.object. And then I think I gotta do, and then I'll do, let's say username. z.string. And then we'll do email is also a z, well, say z.email as well with that. So we'll just export this, and then to create this API, we'll import as user schema from schemas, user schemas, and then we'll export user schema. Good. And then the other thing I need to do is build this sucker, right? So I think I have a command for that. Build shared. Or do I not actually? I need to add one. Let's add one. Build shared. Could have sworn I had one. There we go. Now we do. Let's actually just add that change here. Let's just say shared add global build command to root package, or to root, let's just say root. Okay. How am I doing? I'm doing all right, Jeremy. I hope you're doing all right. Kind of like I clipped one of my, something from my, like a stream from a couple weeks ago. And it kind of like blew up a little bit for me. Like it has like, I think it's sitting around 5,000 views, which for me is like crazy. So that's kind of cool. Gained like, I want to say like 70 subscribers from it, which is good. Hey, how are you doing this for like a financial reason to learn? It's mostly for fun, James, but also a little bit for financial as well. I want to set myself up to be a good software developer, so I can hopefully monetize myself, my skills, whether it's self-made or I get a dev job or something in the future. What exact clip do you mean? I uploaded it as a video to my channel, but I think it's from stream 116, and it was just me talking about why I think AI is important for learning, basically. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I currently do have a job, James. I work in IT. That's my full-time job. Okay, so this is good, and then we're exporting that. So the other thing we can do here is let's do a so we have web user session. Maybe I want to do like. No, that's fine actually. And then we'll so let's build that npm run shared or build shared. I think that will work, right? Nice. Okay. Very good. So now we will import, we need to add it as a package too, eh? So I forget how to do that. PNPM workspace, add shared package to another package. I forgot how to do this again. There's a way, there's a command for this. Ah, yeah, it's just this. Okay. Should have that in here, no? Oh, that's the web package JSON. I need this one. Okay, so shared. Oh, whoops. There's a colon there. Okay. Oh, not user schema from better off. From shared, I think, if you want. Share user schema. Oh, module. Can't find that module. That should work though, no? Yo, how's it going, Tyler? Welcome, welcome. Also, let me know if the stream freezes. I don't think it's frozen yet, but let me know if it does, because OBS is shite sometimes. Yeah, very good point. Yeah, I would never win against a skilled developer in complex software or something like that. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, again, would it win at individual tasks? Maybe, but like when it comes to like large scale projects, I don't think it will. I'm doing all right. I hope you're doing well. You know, another day. You know, thankfully we're halfway through the week now. More than halfway through the week. I don't know why I keep forgetting these commands. It's like a -- workspace. pnpm add. Oh right, it was this. Okay, so let's get rid of this here. So if we do pnpm workspace, filter API web, add shared. What? Or maybe I need to do pnpm add workspace. And then filter API shared or something. I don't know. Does that work? I think maybe. Yeah, okay. So then this should, that's what it's exported here. Oh, no, import star as user schema. Probably shouldn't call it that. But, yo, how's it going, Cozy Quest? I'm good, finished eating. Glad to hear that you're good too. Yeah. For bloated subpar performance code. Multiple agent models will end up costing as much as developer at some point. Yeah, I believe that's true, James. I do. I think that the costs are not going to scale well whatsoever. Yeah, I don't know how the hell. So I did that, then I added that in, but this export from index is not, unless I need to rebuild it. Oh, because index isn't being built because it's not in the source. That's why. We need to put it in source. That's the problem. Now we're good. Now this should understand where this is coming from, right? Let's try one more time. Yeah, what? It should be coming from this. Just make anything. Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do. Akash, yeah, literally just make anything. It's going well. Just spent my time building my OS. Oh, hell yeah. I do know Gentoo. I've heard of it. It's like, I've heard someone, I'm not like super into the Linux space. Like I don't know a lot about Linux, but I've heard of Gentoo. I've heard it's like Arch but more difficult. That's how, I mean, maybe that's not a good description, but that's how it's been described to me. I'm not sure why this isn't exporting here. Find module shared and corresponding type declarations. Yeah, but like we should have it in our workspace here, right? Yeah, like everything under packages. Unless this isn't getting exported because it's under source and this index is not visible to... so I need to do this, I think. I think that'll fix it. Yeah, that fixed it. Nice. Because I need to point to the index that it's exporting from, right? Inside of here. So, cool. Ben, I just deployed my first app. Want to take a look? Yeah, sure. I'll take a quick look. The only thing, Jeremy, is I'm not going to do like a full like review or anything like that, only because like I don't want to like, you know, give the only thing is I don't want to like, as I'm growing, I don't want to give like full reviews on the regular streams just because I don't want to be unfair to everybody, because then I don't want to set a precedent of that I will do reviews for everybody. But since you've been around for a while, I'll definitely take a look at it. It's like Arch, but you have to compile everything yourself, even the kernel, unless you go the less fun way. Ah, interesting. Just look on the website. Yeah, exactly, Jeremy. No, and it's not because I don't want to look at it. It's just because like, if I start doing project reviews on regular streams, that's gonna set, you know, and I want that to be like a members only thing. Yo, Satyam, how's it going? But yeah, send it over. Send it over. I think you posted it in stream chat, or did you? I think you did. Here it is. I can see it. Is this the is it the prayer app, Jeremy? I think you sent it. In the future, I won't use Arch. I'll use Alpine. Nice. All right, cool. I'll take a quick look at it. Let's just. Do you have it? Do you have it like deployed, or is this just like the code? I'll definitely like, you know, take a look at it in more detail later. But is there a deployment for it? Because I'll take a quick look at the web page. The only time I unironically hear someone talking about Gentoo is on 4chan. Interesting. Is 4chan still like up? Is that even like still, does it still exist? Like, I thought that was like killed a long time ago. I could be wrong. I don't know. I've never gone there before. I'm too soft. Yeah, it's still a thing, but it's just a social media for bots. Oh, got you. It's in stream chat on Discord. Okay, got you. There we go. Here you go. All right, I do like the style of this. Okay, and I'm assuming these are like books, right? Because I grew up Catholic, so like I'm not familiar with Islam necessarily, but I'm assuming these are like books, right? Well, that's a lot of books actually, but no, this looks slick. And then you click this, and you've got like the whole thing in here, right? You've got like the Arabic too. That's really cool. From like an accessibility standpoint too, like to have the Arabic in the thing is really cool. So I honestly, I think Jeremy, you're on a good track here. You've got like different prayer times as well. That's really cool. And you can like check off when you've prayed. That's cool. The thing that I would do for next steps, I would just add a little sign in or something, you know. That's all I would do. I'm not going to give a full spill, but that it looks great so far, man. Professor wanted us to process data, train a model, write a report, and record a video in 5 days. Yeah, that's a very school moment. Tonight I completed the resumable upload service. Now only video transcoders are ready and Filmado's backend will be done. Nice. It's awesome. 4chan 2026 is like the Moltbook thing. It's literally just bots talking to each other. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. I remember the Moltbook. That was like when they let a bunch of Claudes loose on their own social media, wasn't it? Or wasn't it Claude, I guess? Was it like, what do they call those? Open Claw? Whatever it was, like the autonomous, like the agentic things. Which like, but I don't think those like work, right? Like those are just, that's just a gimmick. It's gotta be. Like the agent, like the agent running your entire computer shit, like that's bullshit, right? Surely. Like I get having like an AI like agent within like an ADE and like it helping you code, but like an agent like running your whole computer sounds like crazy to me. Sure, it could do it, but it would just be like, it would be wrecking havoc. Like it would just be a complete like mess. So I don't know. Very fun. Okay, so we're good now. I still need to get this guy in here. So we have our user schema. And then, yeah. All right, let's get back on the horse here. So we'll get our user. We'll test if user is authenticated, and then what we'll do is we'll say const user web user session, or let's just say user session is equal to web. Actually, I should probably call it something different, right? I don't really care. Let's just keep it the way it is. So user schema dot, what did I call it? Web user session. Ooh, okay, hold on. Can this not import type? Refers to value. But did I, oh, because I can, okay. Yeah, because it's a Zod thing. Okay, hold on. Type of, and then we'll say username is user.name, and then email is user.email. But this isn't probably going to be the right. Oh, because it's expecting a Zod string and a Zod email. Okay, hold on. Let me go to Zod type verification here. I'm still learning Zod as well. Oh yeah, it's .parse, right? So it'd actually be like this. And then we'll give it this object, right? Can't be used as value because it's being used. Oh, import type. Okay. We're fine. So now we can do username, or no, we can just give it like a list of things. And then email, user.email. I'm assuming this will work, right? Schema parsing. I think parsing multiple things is different, right? So if we're parsing multiple, how do we do this? There is a way of parsing objects. Just trying to figure it out. Okay, so that is how that works. And then I give it the username and the email. But then, like, why are we strongly type the deep clone of the input? So then what's the problem with this? Then do we not need this type? That's why. Okay, now we're good. That's what we want. So maybe I'll put this under, like, no, it's good. The only thing I'm thinking is, like, okay, so we have the Zod type, right? And this validates the data, but then what if we want to just use it as a, can I infer a Zod type into a or a Zod schema into a TypeScript type? Like, is that a thing? Zod to TS. Is this like a legit thing that works? Let's see. Because, like, for instance, I have the validator here, right, which uses Zod for this user session data. Okay, and then we'll return it. Okay, say data. All right. But then I want to convert that into a type for the front end, because the front end doesn't need to worry about that, right? I don't think. Node is a TypeScript abstract syntax tree node that represents the TypeScript type corresponding to the input Zod schema. I see. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know what this. Oh, that's okay. Auxiliary type store. I don't know what that's doing. That seems kind of complicated. Yo, how's it going, Innovation? Welcome. I'm just trying to basically hook up the back end of the back end auth system with better auth that does work to the front end, and doing it in a type safe manner with Zod. That's the current task. And then I'm going to put this into a context, right? Kind of like what we did last time. Okay, so I think that's fine. I'll just leave it as is now. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We've done auth like 4 times, but that's important because why? Got to put in the reps, right? So we could, like, I mean, theoretically can infer a type, right? Because, like, there's a type here, but we'll just, this isn't the best practice, but I'm just gonna do it like this. So we'll just say const. What did I call this? Web user session. So we'll say web user session type. And then we'll just say username string. Oh, sorry, type. Can't remember these things. Okay. Email is also a string. Should work. Just because it's never used. Okay. And then we're gonna say create context, web user session type or null. And then, so that's our context. So we're defining our context to be null, which is fine. And then let's have our other theme providers kind of a reference here. Okay, so that's fine. And then I think I'm going to use, yeah, we'll take in the children inside of here. And then we'll return our auth provider. Wait, does this not? Oh yeah, I need to give it a value, of course, right? Which will be, you know, fetched, right? So of course it needs to be of web. We'll just say null for now. But we're going to replace this with our value, right? That we fetch. And then we'll do children in here. So let's do, I think we're going to probably need to do it as a use effect, right? I'm just thinking, okay, so let's see. So we're going to say use effects. Then we need to import that sucker, right? And then we're going to say const user session set user session is equal to create or use state. And then web user session type is going to be just leave it empty, I guess. I guess we could also set it to null as well as a default. And then inside of here, we're going to do our fetch, right? So we're going to say fetch session data is going to be an asynchronous function. We're not going to take anything in. And then we're also going to have, how did I do this before that it didn't loop? There was a way I did this before where it didn't loop. So let me go back to my other project just to see what I did. Is verified, I see. Or no, wait, where did I even do the, hold on, where did I do the, oh, did I do the fetching inside of home? This is where it was. Trying to remember what I did here. Off client verify. Where did I even call that? I don't even know. Oh, I used it in the sign in and then set it. That's what I did. That's what I did, I think. Or was it in here? Yeah, genuinely, I can't remember where I did this. Kind of like going in circles here. Where the hell did I? Okay, so if result success, navigate to sign in, that's fine. Where did I set the context? Yeah, use off, fetch all to-dos. Yeah, that's weird, man. I don't know where I set that. Oh, it was this. Auth verifier. Where did I put the auth verifier? Did I wrap that around the root as well? Oh, I did. Ah, that's what I did. Okay, so I have it as another wrapper here. This is where I did the verification. I see. And then how did I ensure that this doesn't loop? Oh, because I navigate based on it. I see. Okay. Okay, so we'll do something like that as well, I guess. So we'll do like an auth verifier. So let's go back to our drive. Okay, so we don't need to actually worry about any of this shit, right? We probably just need the user session, right? And then like a setter for that. We probably need to expose a setter, right? So if I go to my auth provider, yeah, set auth, okay. And then that's the value there. Okay. I think I got it now. So we'll say const auth provider context type is equal to this, and then we'll say user session is web user. Wait, not const. Can't remember this. Okay. Then we'll say set session. Or we'll say session data. I don't know. And then we'll just have this be a function that returns void. And then this will be, the auth provider context will be this type here. Oh wait, no, that's still the same. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna say const set or no, actually no. Let's just do something like this. And then we'll say how did I do this in this thing? Gotta keep flip-flopping here. Oh no, I did have it as a state. I did have it as a state. Okay, we're fine. So that actually, I do need this as a state. Then we need to change this, huh? set session data. Dude, I hate naming variables. Session data is auth provider context type. So session data, we'll just call this data and then set data maybe. I don't know, something like this. And then we'll say set data to data. And then inside of here we'll return, whoops, data set session. Oh. Auth provider context type. Oh, because does it need to be doubled? Okay, that's why. Object literal may only specify properties and data does not exist in type. Oh, because it's, I see. So it's session data is data, and then set session data is this. Okay, that's why. Okay. That's the problem. Although I could probably just name these what they are, now that I think about it. Right? And then session data. I'll say data. Just because there's going to be naming conflict. Okay, that's fine. Okay. And then we need our use auth, right? So our use auth is just this, use contexts. So export const use auth, use contexts, auth provider contexts. And then we're going to get a lint error, and then we'll add that for just this line. Export default, use auth. Yeah, only export components. Okay, and then so was that kind of like what our pattern looked like here? Oh, auth provider was the default, I see, okay. Okay, so we don't need this rule anymore. Okay. Now we're good. We don't even need that use effect. Beautiful. And then we'll have a wrapper component for that. Why didn't this put this in a UI folder? Oh no, it did, I guess. It's just, so I do a new file here. Let's do an auth verifier. And then this is where we're actually going to make the fetch, right? So what we'll do is inside of our root, we'll wrap this inside of our auth provider. Then we need to import this guy. Okay. And then our auth verifier is going to be export function auth verifier. And this is going to be our default. Can I do this? Yeah. And then this is going to be our verification wrapper thing, right? Where we're actually going to do the fetch. So We need that use effect. First of all, we're going to need to import our set, or what was it? Import useAuth. And then we're going to say const set session data is going to be equal to useAuth. I think that's fine, right? So that's good. And then the other thing we're going to need is we're going to need the use effects. So we're going to do our use effects. Then we're going to say const fetch session data async. And we're going to call it here. And then we're going to, the other thing we're going to need to do after we're done this is we're going to need to define our sign up and our sign in routes, right? So that's good. So in our fetcher, we're going to actually write the fetch, right? So what we're going to do is say const response is equal to fetch. And then of course this doesn't have a URL to the backend exactly, so let's do it. Localhost 8080 /API /auth user. And then our method is going to be get. And then I think we need to do headers. Do we even need headers? We might not, actually. I think that's it, because we're not actually sending any data over. And then if response.ok, or if not response.ok, I should say, then we'll like throw an error, throw, or I don't know, do I return, hold on, I just need to verify this last thing and then I'll take my break here. Do I throw an error in this thing? Oh, verify session, auth client verify, right, because I exported that into the auth client. Credentials include, so I do need that, okay. Throw new error. All right, cool. Cool. All right. I think I got this. Okay, we're still not frozen here. Just making sure. I wonder if I can actually do it from... Okay, no. I have to actually open up OBS. Fair enough. Fair play, fair play. Okay. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday evening. And hope your day's been productive and whatnot. So... Just started page 8. Damn. On the report, I'm assuming. I honestly don't miss that at all. I don't miss the misery of having deadlines like that. Oh, that sucks, man. I remember like, what was it? We had to, what did we do? It was like a project. It was like a proposal thing that we had to write for this project, and it was like, I remember like it was a group project. There were 4 of us, I think, and basically we delegated like, you know, each person does a section, right? But then like myself and one of the other partners like reads the stuff that the other two people wrote, like, 3 hours before it was due, and they just wrote like nothing good. Like, it was just like terribly formatted, just like no grammar considerations. And we're like, holy shit. So then I had to spend like, I was like feverishly trying to like edit their stuff because I was like, this is not passable. You know, I'm triggered. Yeah, I know. But the good thing is I've written so many reports in my lifetime. I feel like that I can edit a paper pretty well. It was just annoying. Like, cause in my bio degree especially, like I wrote like a lot of reports. I did some lit reviews. I did, a thesis. I did all these things, right? So I think I got pretty good at writing prose, I would like to say, maybe. I mean, I'm not perfect at it, especially if I'm rushing, but if I really lock in, I can do it. And again, I did all that shit before AI, mostly. All the like learning how to write. Like, I feel like learning how to write is a really important skill. That, like, again, thank AI for fucking that up again, for younger folks especially. I'm glad I learned how to write before AI. I used Apache to create an HTTP server on Linux, trained a machine learning model, and now writing a port. Damn. That is quite a bit, I will say. So all sounds like fun, except for the report part. Because like I took an applications of ML class, and I liked kind of training the little models, like the little neural nets that we'd make for, like, usually it was like a little image classifier or whatever it was. Not even an image classifier. It was the fuck was it? Was it an image classifier? I think it was. Actually, yeah, it was. It was on the. We basically redid the. Is it called ImageNet? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Was it ImageNet? Yeah. We used ImageNet. Then we wrote like a really basic image classifier, neural network. I think it was ImageNet. We used a subset of ImageNet. And then, you have the training and test sets and all these things. I trained a model to predict the diabetes diagnosis based on BMI and glucose levels. That's awesome. Yeah, because you can't go purely off of one or the other, right? Although I'd imagine, like, in real life, you've got to consider more variables than just, like, two, right? Like, you got to have more, like, degrees of freedom, so to speak. Okay, so let's go here. Not even the two I mentioned. Yeah. All right. Now, throw new error and then failure. Wait, what? Why is this not? Oh, because I need to await. What was my message for this again? Not that it really matters. Response status. Oh yeah, okay. You just do that. And then if it's all good, then we will say const result is equal to await response.json. And then we will return result. And then what we'll say is, so we get the session data. All deconstructed, yeah, I know they're unused. Okay, so what we'll say is if well, actually, we don't even need that. We'll say set session data to, or we need to probably do that inside of the fetch session data, don't we? There we go. And then now, I think we can do another use effect where we basically redirect, right? So this will be a redirect, and then I don't even think, do we need to return anything, I wonder? I don't think so. Oh yeah, we just return the children, right? We bring in the children. And we just like return children though. Something like that, right? Let me just verify that's what I did here. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Okay. Then I wrap this auth verifier around. I think the only problem with this is then we're not going to be able to navigate to any other different pages. Yeah, no, I think it's fine. We can keep it that way. So we'll say if session data is not equal to null, then we'll navigate to, oh, and I need to define a navigator, of course. Const navigate equals use navigate, and we'll say navigate. Whoops. Else navigate to sign in, which is a route that we'll define. So that's good. And that's basically our verifier, right? And then so let's make a couple more routes here. We'll do our sign up route. So I just do it like that. So function sign up is just this. I can't write syntax apparently. Export default sign up. And we're going to do basically the same thing for sign in. Oh wait, I need to give it a extension, of course, right? And then we'll say sign in. Okay. Then we'll just return. We'll just say h1 sign in page. And we'll do the same for the sign up, just temporarily, so we can see which page is which, right? And of course, we'll make our fancy front end after that. So that's good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the outlet inside of a auth verifier. So I'm going to do auth verifier. I think that can be imported. Very good. And then now that should set our context, right? In theory. So this is our welcome, this is our root, right? And then, so now this theoretically should redirect us to, oh wait, why did it shut down here? Oh, because no, I haven't routed it yet, but it did route us to the right spot. I didn't add it to the router. Whoopsies. Let me fix that. Oh wait, this is its own standalone object. Hold on. And I think its path is sign in, and then component is sign in. And then sign up is the same, right? That's my fault. Oh, whoops. And I need to... There we go. Oh, shit, but it's infinite looping. Hold on. That is not what we want. Oh, you know why? Because I forgot to put these as dependencies here. Or session data. Or did I have this as its own state here? Yo, how's it going, Codex? Do you use AI to understand something from the docs if you're stuck? Not usually. I usually do. I usually either just keep reading the docs and think about it and try to understand, but I also chat helps me out too. How's it going, Newt Nav? Welcome. So okay. How did I do this? I also use my previous notes and stuff as well, which can help. Is verified. Navigate. Oh, navigate's one as well, isn't it? Okay, so let's see if this loops again. Okay, so it's still looping. It's not what we want. I mean, in theory it works, but it's still looping and I don't know why. Verify session. Set off to that, and then that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Theoretically, this is like the same pattern, right? Oh, we check whether it was successful first. That's what we do. I think that's what I missed here. So, all right. So we'll get the. Actually, no. So if data.success, then we set session data to data, right? Why does this? Oh, can I not? Or can I put this inside of this function? Let's put this inside of this function. Again. Okay, so we'll say we don't need this then. Results. I'll say result dot data. That's what it is. So that's part of our problem. And then we're going to say fetch session data. Because I forgot that the result has a different form here. So the result is the auth. I need probably a type for that, but it is what it is, right? Because the auth, or the type of the result is this, right? Yeah. Otherwise, do we do anything different? Okay. No, I think we're good. Okay, let's hope this doesn't infinite loop on me. I still think it might, but we'll find out, I guess. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh yes, it does. Okay. It's because this is being called. There's no condition on this not being called, right? So is there anything here? Oh, set session data is a dependency. Is there any other dependencies? Because we need a condition on calling this function, right? Because this is just being called over and over and over and over again, right? But it eludes me why it isn't doing that in my other project. Yeah. I need some sort of like I could just do it as a state here. Or okay, so I'm having this issue with my keyboard where like I think there's some bounce happening on my keys. It's not very good. So I actually ordered some new keycaps to fix that. Okay, so let's change this here. Let's just say that so we need to get the data out of here, right? So I'll say if result.success const is verified, or set is verified, I should say. Set is verified to result.success. Okay, and if is verified, then we will set the session data to result.data. And then what we'll do here is we'll only run this if is verified is equal to null. And then here what we'll do is we'll say if is verified, then if not is verified, actually. Well, that doesn't really matter. Navigate to the root, otherwise navigate to the sign in, right? And then this is dependent on is verified. And this is dependent on is verified, set is verified, set session data. And navigate as well. Okay. Okay. Theoretically now this shouldn't loop on me. Dude, why? Or is it erroring out? Can I read properties of null reading name? Okay, so maybe it's not even looping. Maybe there's something else going on here. Auth controller. Line 11. Await next. Oh, yeah, okay. So that's coming from line session return line 24, user dot name. Or is it user dot? Oh. No, the name should be here, right? I think when we returned it, we got our name here. So I don't know why I can't read it. Oh, maybe because it's not authenticated. Of course. So we should actually do this as like a ternary. So we should do user authenticated. And then do this if it's true. Otherwise, set it to null. There we go. Now we're cooking. So now if we try to navigate to the root, it'll just take us right to sign in, which is what we want, right? So that's good. So that's fine. And then now we need to define our types for our web user sign in. So we'll say export const web user sign up actually first. So what are we going to need to sign up? We're going to need like, and then we're going to need export const web user sign in, right? Z.objects. So I'm going to make these lowercase only to be cohesive with the naming of the routes, right? Okay, so before I actually do this, let's just commit. This is a fucking disaster. Actually, let's remove these first, and then make a commit here. So let's just say API/web add auth context provider and verifier. Okay. Now let's add this in here. Okay. Very good, very good. Just making sure. Oh, it did freeze. Guys, no one told me. Hold on. Let me fix it. There we go. Oh, I wasn't even seeing chat update. My chat completely died, guys. My chat died. But how's it going, Salty? Yeah, I didn't see your chat. Yeah, I was locked in. Sorry. I thought the stream was just dead. That's my fault. My chat froze too. That's so fucking weird, guys. Okay, I'm gonna have to switch back to what's it called? To Streamlabs. You're cooking those. I was listening, and yeah, but it sucks for VOD watchers, right? Fuck, I gotta switch back to Streamlabs after the stream. Yeah, it keeps doing that. My chat client froze too. Did like, let's see if my viewers like dropped off here. I think they probably did. Oh no, they didn't actually. You guys stuck around through that, really? I wouldn't have probably. I still have viewers here. Okay, I don't know why you guys stuck with me frozen. Is there a reason you switched to OBS? Because, yeah, so the reason why is because Streamlabs kept crashing because it's slow. That's why I switched back to OBS, but I've been having these seize up issues. Multitasking, yeah. But no, Salty, you were bang on. I don't know if Salty, you're still here. But yeah, no. Fucking man. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate it. Fuck, that sucks. I feel bad now. Okay. But we're good. We got this working. We now have an auth context. So mostly because I saw your vids and saw your streaming, figure I can ask questions. Yeah, no, absolutely. So let me go back to your question. Nopenate, or is it Inopenate? I don't know what to say. I figured something was up because you're normally really good about reading chats. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something was up. My chat client was frozen. Fuck. Okay, I'm going back to Streamlabs after this stream. Fuck, that's annoying. I guess this question you get a million times, but how do you deal with the temptations of using AI? You know what it is? I honestly just ignore. I just ignore it, really. Like I've gotten good at ignoring the temptation just through practice. And to be honest with you, I never really fully used it before, like in my workflow, or like used it to like, you know, how should I say, like skate by or cheat or whatever. So like I've never really had the temptation, at least that strongly. And I also really know that I like to create things myself. And that motivation kind of drives me forward. So yeah, it's kind of that really. And I mean, it's kind of my whole thing that I don't use AI, right? So, okay, so let's continue. Actually, no, well, we'll take a break first and then we'll continue. I'll catch up with chat here. Let's see. Let's just make sure the screen's not for, okay, I'm gonna like be paranoid about this. Do you have prior work in tech or programming? Yes, I do. You can read my FAQ here. But yeah, what was I going to say? I work in IT. That's my day job. I've been working in IT for a little over a year now, since May of 2025. So yeah, but that's not really a dev job. Like if you guys know the difference, like IT is not the same as like software development. Updating my mirror list, I give up on using source compiled OBS. Fair enough. I'm assuming you're on Linux, James. Sounds like a Linux thing. Yeah, got you. Yeah. Yeah, I need to next stream. It's a shame though, because OBS is faster, much faster and less resource intensive than Streamlabs. But it freezes, and it's a Mac OS. It's a known Mac OS issue that OBS freezes. I don't think it does that on Windows. For the shit that Windows is, it does not do that on Windows. So that sucks, because this has happened, yeah, like how many streams in a row now? So I guess it does have dual streaming behind a paywall. Yeah, the idea is that I would like reinvest anything I made from YouTube into that, because like I'm not gonna lie, guys, like I don't have much extra that I can really spend per month. Like I'm kind of strapped a little bit. So, I mean, and that extra whatever dollars a month, like I really kind of could use that for like whatever. So, but if I ever do make money from YouTube, whether it's through AdSense or whatever, which I have not unlocked yet, I'm about to. I'm very, very close. Then that's what it would go toward. It would be completely reinvested into the channel. I guess it's more into server and maintenance. I'm Tech in general. Just started deployments. Yes, got you. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Open8. That's exactly what it is. IT's more server, like system administration, maintaining existing systems, as well as like helping end users and managing their systems. It's like system management rather than creation. Like the way I describe it, you can use RMTP multi-stream plugin for OBS. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna continue on that thought. I tried to do that before, but it just did not fucking work. Maybe we should build an alternative to OBS that isn't broken. Yes. Anyway, getting back to my point. I describe IT as like carpentry, okay? Where you're like building things like, how do I even say it? It's not even carpentry. It's more like repair work, right? It's like repairing like a house that's like kind of, you know, maybe falling apart in some areas. It's like kind of like a carpenter that goes in, maybe does repairs, versus like a software developer is like an architect, right? Maintenance technician. Yeah, exactly. A software developer is like an architect, right? But IT is like a maintenance, you know, carpenter or something like this. That's like my shitty analogy for that. I low-key made a mistake. I'm on track to get an IT diploma soon, but I realized I'm more deep into CS and software engineering, but I'm sure it won't be a huge problem. Yeah, I don't think it will be. Like, I did CS and went to IT, so, I mean, they're kind of like, I think you can do one from the other. Do you prefer coding with music or raw dogging silence? Well, I've got a little bit of a, I kind of made it quieter, but there is technically like a little white noise rain in the background. It's probably really quiet though. I can like boost it a little bit. I just don't like it to be too quiet or too loud on the VODs. But you know, there's a little bit of white noise in the background. But no, I usually when I'm coding on my own, I do put on music. But I don't want to get into any copyright trouble on YouTube, so I just do white noise. Because I want to, you know, eventually monetize these things, right? I'm like very, very close to to monetizing. I haven't hit the hours requirement yet, if you can believe it. I'm about to though. I'm very close, like within a week. But yeah, it's mostly a copyright concern. Because again, anything I make on this channel, I'm reinvesting into it. So, like whether it's getting like pro Streamlabs, whether it's like to do dual streaming, whether it's, you know, to get better stuff for a better setup or whatever it is, like it's gonna be completely reinvested in the channel. Because I want to like, you know, make this experience as cool as possible for you guys and, you know, that sort of thing. So, all right, let's keep going. So this is going to be for our forms, right? So I might even do web sign up form. I might even call it like this. Something like this, right? And then, so what we'll do is we'll define our schema. So we'll say username as a z.string, and then we'll give it like a max length. I forget what that is here. String bools. Yeah, so we'll do dot max, and there's a way to like do a custom error, no? Custom error. This is what it is. There's a way of defining it on the schema itself. max 5. And then what, like error? Like this? I don't want it to be max 5. Let's just say max. Say your username can't be longer than 20 characters. And then we'll do a min. Dot min like 3. There's a better way of handling this though, I think. Do you often work on your code for 3 hours a day and then go on with your day, or do you continue sometimes even after the stream? Usually, actually, I continue like the next day before stream. So like I'll usually, when I code off stream, I usually do it before stream so that I can kind of work, you know, work my brain and get kind of warmed up before stream. So usually I'll leave it to like for example, if there's a task I need to finish tonight and I don't finish it, I'll probably finish it tomorrow before the next stream. I'm not streaming tomorrow, so that's a bad example, but like, you know what I mean. I was going to stream tomorrow and then I had to move it. Or I am moving it just because it's more convenient to do it Friday now. Okay, so you can do them here. You do it like inside of this. Oh, you can also do this too. The error parameter optionally accepts a function. Error customization function is known as an error map. The error map will return at parse time if a validation error occurs. Okay, so maybe I do that or something. So this would be kind of our idea here. So we could even do like this. So we'll do like a error, and then we'll say like the error here, and then we'll say return, or we could even just do it like, we don't even need to do it like this. We could just say password must or not password, sorry. This username. Three characters. And then we'll do a similar pattern for max here. What did I do here? There. Do you have a process you go through to pick projects to help you learn? I'm currently going through the Odin Project myself. Just curious how you decide what to do after that. Yeah, so basically, I haven't really decided to do, like, this is technically, if you can believe it, this is still through the Odin Project. So, like, I haven't actually chosen many projects to do after, or any really, but I did a to-do app in between, but that was pretty easy. Everyone does a to-do app, right? To kind of test my test stack. But this file uploader here, even though this stack is way different, like they're using Express and Prisma and there's no front end and these sorts of things, this project idea I got from Odin to begin with, right? So yeah. But like as far as choosing project ideas, I mean, honestly, like I just like think of things in my life that like I would want to solve with a web app, right? Like one example is, you know, I manage my finances on, you know, a Google Sheets page, right? But I was thinking I could probably like program my own basic personal finance management app like web app instead that would handle all of these calculations and shit for me, like based on like what I pay monthly in rent and you know what like budgeted versus what I actually pay, and then it could like give me like a dashboard breakdown, like these sorts of things, right? Like things in my life that I see as like, you know, things that could be more automated, like that would be a project idea, right? So I'm actually thinking of making that finance app at some point, be like just for personal finance, and again it would just be mostly to practice, but that's like an example of how I choose something. And I've ideated on that project for a while, but I'm waiting until I finish Odin Project to really jump into that. But I'm thinking I'm going to make something like that, right? But that's an example. Actually, I don't even really need to pass in the error here, to be honest. I don't even think I can just do it like this. Okay, and then so we need what do we need? Email, which is going to be z.email. And then I think this has its own default baked in error as well. Gotcha, I didn't realize there was that much in the Odin project. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm near the end of it, honestly. That makes sense about looking things in your own life, yeah. Just checking OBS to make sure it's not frozen. Okay. But yeah, like, or you know, you can change the scope to what you think is appropriate, right? But that's kind of like how I would do it. Password, and then we're gonna say z.string. But then we're gonna need to give it a regex, right? There's a way of doing this with strings. Let me go back to schema definitions. Where are strings? There they are. Yeah, so I can give it a regex. And I'm actually going to define that const password regex is equal to, let's define it, or sorry, it's forward slashes. There was a regex I got for the last, this is what it was. Minimum 8 characters and at least one letter and one number seems reasonable to me. Because this isn't going to be the most secure, you know, thing in the world. .regex password regex. And then I'll do an error in here. And then I'll say password must contain at least 8 characters and have one letter, have at least and one number. And then for the confirm password, we have to do the same idea, or password firm. Actually, this can probably be like the same definition. But then there's a way to like check, to apply a check to the actual object itself, which I can't remember. Let me just peep at my old project for a second here. .refine. That's what it was. Okay, so that's the function I was looking for. So we need a .refine on this guy. And then we have data. And then we're gonna do, so look up the reference for that. .refine. And then we'll say data dot password is equal to data dot password confirm, or is not equal to, I should say, or no, is equal to. And then give this like an error, right? And we'll say passwords do not match. I actually don't know if these really need to all be functions here. I can just leave them. I don't think they need to be, because that's if that's like on each change. I think I can leave these as not functions. I think they can be without that. They can just be strings. Actually, for consistency, I'm going to change these to double quotes. Let's find. Let's do this. Just do a find and replace here. Make it easier. There we go. Okay. All right. Now, that's everything for the sign up form, I think, right? And then the sign in should be easier. So for the sign in, we'll just do our email, and then we'll do password, which is just the same as this. But then instead of, this, we'll just say invalid password. Invalid password format. Or, well, no, you just keep let's keep the message the same for simplicity. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so there's our schemas, right? So then we can bring these things into our, actually, I'm going to put this up here. We can bring these into our front end, right? So let's npm run shared build. Okay, so just build that, and then we're gonna import those suckers, and get some basic forms set up here. So just for some project tracking, let's just say shared create Zod schemas for web, or for sign in, sign up, and sign in. Say it's a P0, sure. Okay. Auth context for protecting user, protected file explorer. This is, we already kind of did this. We didn't really, because the file explorer is just going to be from the root, so we already created our auth context. That was what we spent the earlier part of stream doing. Just making sure that the stream's still going here. Let me refresh chat. Just to make sure that it's not. I'm going to be like paranoid, like refreshing everything. Okay. Looks like we're caught up. Okay. All right. So now let's actually create the. Let's create the form, right? So we're gonna do it as a card. Okay. Although I probably want to wrap this inside of a div, just cause, in case I need to add anything else to this sign in, right? Although actually no, let's just leave it. Let's just leave it. Then we need our header and our title and all that stuff, right? So we'll do the header, card content, right? Then we need our footer, card footer. Then we're gonna also use React hook form for this, of course, right? And so our card title. is going to be sign up. Let's do all these missing imports. Wait, you can make a to-do list like that in Obsidian? There's so much I need to learn. Yeah, so basically I'll show you what I mean. So this is Obsidian, right? But I've got a plugin called Kanban boards, or it's just Kanban, I think. So you can go to community plugins and get this Kanban plugin by the Obsidian community. It has 2.4 million downloads. And then basically what that does, Salty, is you have if you look at the markdown, it's just a to-do list, right? But what the plugin does is it takes this markdown and then it renders it as this board layout, which is pretty nifty, I would say. And then you can also, like, I have priorities here. So this is kind of like pulling from my like IT world, but like P0 is like a, you know, necessary or like high priority item. P1 is like medium, and then P2 is low. So I'm just using those to like assign like what is like absolutely necessary for the project to work. Priority 1 is like would be very nice to have as a feature, but not strictly necessary. And then P2 would be like optional, like low priority, but would be like a nice to have sort of thing. And then so you can add those here. And then like, for example, I have this as I have this board as a template, or not stream plan, this one. So I've got this as a template, and then I can fork that template or clone it every time that I make a new project. So that's a little Obsidian, you know, overview there. Okay, so then the other thing I need to do is I need to get React hook form in here, right? So let's get React hook form in here. React hook form. Just gonna get started here. So we're gonna do pnpm add filter web React hook form. Let's get that sucker in here. Okie dokie. And then so we're gonna get we're gonna do our Zod stuff, right? There's gotta be a Zod. I forget exactly where that was. Sweet, I love Obsidian just for the simplicity of linking notes, but I didn't realize how much other stuff you can do. Yeah, exactly. There's a shit ton you can do with it. With the community plugins, at least. Like, there's so many community plugins. I love it for that reason. It's super extensible. Let's go to Zod. There's got to be a Zod in here, right? React Web Quick Start. Oh, that's already our quick start. Probably an advanced. Oh yeah. Okay. Maybe? I just forget exactly I need the reference for that. I swear I did this before. Am I gonna work on front end now? Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Zelios. That's the idea. I'm kind of doing front end. Or I am doing front end, I should say. So I have this yup thing. It's pretty similar, but there's a way of doing it. Let's, can I do, like, maybe there's a React hook form in here. React hook form. It's already based on the Zod resolver. Apparently. I've only used this once before, so. TypeScript. I feel very dumb here. Let's see. Zod validation. This is the kind of shit I want here. Yeah, I just needed to know this use form here. So, okay. So let's, the other thing I can do is always reference my other project, right? So like if I go to my other project, let's see how I did it there. If I go to the, oh, do I have these as their own? I don't know. It's z.infer type of, and then, oh, that's how I get it as a TypeScript. Ah, that's how I get it as a TypeScript type. I see. Okay, so then there's a resolver, and then a mode, and then default values. That's what it is. Just kind of looking for something that has this similar pattern so that I can use as a reference. Okay, so we have our default values there. Okay. So let's define our form first. Const form is equal to use form, which we're going to need to import, right? Import use form from React hook form. Use form. And we're going to do z.infer, and then type of, then we need that schema, don't we? Be web sign up form. So I need to import star as z from Zod. Wait, do I not have Zod in the front end? I don't. Install that too. And then I need to import user schema. Use user schema. Yeah. Import user schema from shared. Oh, because I didn't install shared as a thing. So I think it was pnpm add workspace or filter. Something like this, right? Now that should be in the package. Yes, good. Type of user schema dot web sign up form, and this is a object here. Oh wait, no. Why is this all spaced out funny? Okay, hold on. Then this is what we need. So then our resolver. I just want to finish this off here. Is Zod resolver, and then I need to import Zod resolver as well. Or is that from, where do I get Zod resolver? There's a Zod resolver somewhere, right? Ah, hook form resolver Zod. Too many packages, man. And then now we're going to import this. Zod resolver from Zod resolver for user schema dot web sign up form. Okay, but why is this erroring out? Why is this spacing all weird, man? Is that the linter doing that? Yeah, it is. Okay. So why is this like all broken? Oh, because I guess it's never used. So it's giving me errors. Keep at it. I'm going to bed now. Sounds good, James. I appreciate you coming around. Then I have those like controllers, right? That's the other thing I need is I need to wrap each one of the, yeah, I need to wrap them in controllers, right? Control, handle, submit. Maybe I didn't call this form. What did I call this something different? No, cost form is use form, z.infer type of, oh, because, okay. It's this. It needs to be double, stupid syntax, okay. We're good. Okay. And then we can do form dot for all of those things. Very good, very good. Just gonna go for one more session tonight, guys, and then we will be ending it, and I'll be live again Friday. Syntax errors are the bane of my existence. Yeah, this is just a linting error. It's just because it isn't used yet, but that'll come. So. Finish my report. Nice, 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 nice. I bet that feels good. Even if I get this sign in working in the next, or this sign up working in the next 25 minutes, then we'll be cooking. Feels amazing. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it. I think I'm coming to realize though now, like as I'm doing these sorts of things, like, okay, so you have like a this React hook form package, right? And essentially what it does is it's like a wrapper around a form that gives you input, like it basically gives you input validation and then like automates like the error display and all these sorts of things, right? And it's got a specific component called like a controller that's that kind of that wrapper around that field, right? And I'm realizing more and more that like these are the kinds of things that like if you wanted to just get like a cursory understanding of, I could see like a utility for AI in this case. Like once you already like in the sense of like, can you read this, you know, package and give me like the Coles notes on implementation and why, and then you can kind of dig into it yourself, but it could get you set up with boilerplate and you can kind of, you know, iterate on that faster. But it's just like sort of things like this, right? The menial, you know, implementation of specific packages. But again, the use of this package is kind of agnostic to the overall architecture of my project, right? Like you'd still be doing you know, you're still controlling that. It's just like these individualized pieces, right? Or like you could even get it to like, you know, compare and contrast one versus another package, and then like you can look at it yourself, but it gives you kind of a starting point. I'm just kind of seeing that now. Like, yeah, I can see like how that would be useful, and kind of save time, instead of, you know, complete trial and erroring it. But again, I think there's definitely utility in doing these sorts of things yourself. But it's just, again, when it comes to these, like these kinds of packages are opinionated, right? They're not related to they're just one piece of the puzzle, right? And that kind of level of granularity is something like just to harp on the AI thing, something that I feel like AI would be better suited to. I don't know. I was just kind of thinking about that, so I thought I'd share. By the way, I messaged you on Discord earlier when your stream froze. Yeah, no worries. I appreciate that. I have Discord notifs turned off. Like I'm on, what's it called? Do not disturb when I'm when I'm streaming, so it doesn't, you know, doesn't ping. So I think I missed that, but I appreciate that, Salty. I appreciate it. I probably should turn them on, you know. But anyway, so let's continue. We're gonna need this whole auth client thing as well. But once we do this form, right? Because then we just do an await here. Okay, so then, all right, so that's our use form. And then we're going to do our form. Oh, and then we need a submit function too, right? So we're going to do our const on submit. Is going to be a submit handler for the z dot infer type of user schema dot web sign up form. Submit handler. Did I do this wrong? There. And then let's just console.log the data for now. Oh, and then we need to give it data, of course. Okay. Just keep it simple. And then so we have our resolver, and then we have the default values, right? We're gonna say username is blank, email is blank, password is blank, and password confirm is also blank. Okay, so that's our default values. What was the other thing we needed in there? Oh yeah, there was a mode, right? Use form. See what the props are here. Mode. On change, on submit. I think it's mode. We'll do to on submit, right? Because we only want to validate on submit, not on change. So that's what we need, right? And then we'll do, okay, so we have our on submit, that's fine. Then we need to put our form in here. And then, do I attach the on submit directly to the form? I don't remember. Yes, I do. Is form dot handle submit and then on submit. That's not confusing. Yo, how's it going? I don't know how to say your name. I'm not gonna lie. I'll just call you Muck. How's it going, Muck? I'm sorry if I just can't like make out the characters. My chat is too small. But welcome. Feel free to correct me, by the way. Okay. So then we're gonna need our controllers, right? So then I think I do that, like, I do the controllers. Yeah, like each thing's a controller. So we'll do a controller. And then we'll do, and then this needs a name, which will say username. And then a control is the form.control. And then the render is going to be field. And then, oh no, it's this, isn't it? Field state. And then, no, and then I just do I do brackets here like this because we're returning HTMX, right? So then we'll do a field from our components. Okay, so what's the error here? What's the problem? Controller. How to learn something that has no documentation? Oh, that's a tricky one, Monster. I mean, in which case, I mean, either spend all the time to dig into it yourself, but I mean, that is another case for you could get AI to kind of facilitate for you. But I would just be careful with it. Like, you could get AI to, you know, give you like a basic, like you could give it something, like some function, say like, or whatever it is, I don't know. But then you all like verify it yourself. But like that would only be for, you know, like that's not a common thing. Like most technologies have decent-ish documentation. So like that shouldn't be a thing unless it's like your own stuff. Unless it's like something you've written that you didn't document, in which case, I mean, you should be documenting anything you make. If it's going to be public, of course, right? If it's just for you, it doesn't really matter, but okay, what's the problem here? Name, control, render. Oh, because there's no commas. I'm silly. There's no commas here, man. Okay. Okay, so now we have our field. And so let's go to our field here, field type. There's a way of doing this nicely. I just forget. So we have our field label. And that's going to be for our input. So we'll say HTML4 username. And then we'll say username. And then we'll add our input. This needs to be ID is equal to username. Name is username as well. And then the other thing I need to do as well is I need to add our field state error, right? Or no, HTML4 field.name is what I need to do, actually. And then we need it to be required. This is also like This doesn't need a closing tag. Just do this like this. And then we need to put in the error, of course, right? So let's go back to this thing here. So we need our error. Let's look at our error. How do we do this? Server error and okay, so that's what it was. And then we do field data invalid is field state dot invalid, and then we put the error here. Field state dot invalid and then field error with errors. Field state dot error. Okay, so that's how that worked. Okay, then we'll do area invalid is field state dot invalid, and then here we'll do field state dot invalid and field error. Oops. Okay. And then error is equal to field state dot error. Oh, then maybe I don't need. Let's do that, and then we need to import field error, of course, right? Recursive div. Export type. What? Oh, we imported the wrong field error. That's the right one. Errors. That's what it is. Okay. Nice. Okay, so that's one field completed. And then I'm gonna just do. I'll do like a ID is sign up form. And then when we add our button down here, I'll just assign that. Okay, so let's copy this 3 times. And then, so our second one's gonna be our email. Email. And then our type is gonna be email. And that should be good. And then password. Type is password. Enter password, or just password. And then password confirm. Confirm password. And then we'll do type is password. I think that's it for that, and then we'll add our button. So we'll do a button. Why is this like that? Stupid thing. No. I want this import to work. There. And then we're going to do type. Submit, and then form is sign up form. And then submit or sign up. Do you have experience with Java? Little bit through my degree. Is this Android Studio? No. I don't know what Android Studio even is. This is VS Code, if you're referring to this editor here. Whiskey. Whiskey Tater Tot. I actually like that name. That's a good one. But yeah, okay. So there's our sign up. So this theoretically should work, right? I mean, formatting is gonna be shite, but theoretically it'll work. Now, the only thing is I need to be able to navigate to sign up. Oh wait, actually that's not what I wanted to do. Run dev here. Okay, so this should theoretically, yeah, so it redirects to sign in, but we need the ability to be on sign up as well, right? So we should be allowed to redirect to sign up. So I don't remember how I did that last time. Android Studio kind of sounds like my kind of tater tot. Android Studio is just a cross-platform app developer, uses VS Code as well, I think. Oh, got you. No, this is I'm using my own stack, Whiskey. You can actually read about it here. But like a little bit of what I'm doing. Assuming the paste bin works, I hope it works. Okay, so I forget how I just protected that. Because I need to obviously navigate to the sign up, right? So maybe that's a case of doing a little bit of rejigging here. Because it's not going to let me navigate to that sign up page with the verifier that I set up here. So if I remove this, is this gonna like cause trouble? I don't know. Because I didn't have it in my other one. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, because I need to run it. Okay. Paste bin's no longer available. Is it not? Like straight, like completely? Is it completely dead? No shit. What? Bro. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that. I apologize. Basically, the TLDR is Whiskey that I built my own stack, which contains it's React and Vite and React in the front end, Hano in the back end, and then uses Drizzle and Postgres for the database. And I'm just practicing web development with that stack. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay, so that's interesting. So I'm assuming this is going to continue forcing me to the sign-in page. Yeah. Fuck, how did I mean, if on the sign-in page, I wonder if I put a navigator to the sign-up, if that'll do anything. I wonder if I do like a link. Then I do a to sign up. We fix this here. Okay, there we go. So that does work. Okay, so username, email. Okay, so obviously this formatting is terrible, but I mean, in theory, this should work, right? So. Yo, how's it going, unknown? Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix the paste bin issue. What are the reasons that you're not using AI? So the main one is secure, I get to use my special command. It gets cut off here, but the ending should say for a while as I continue to learn. That's what it should say. And then I also have an FAQ here where I address why I don't use AI in more detail. So you can read that as well, Monster, if you're curious. Okay, so then this should work, right? So theoretically, if I try to sign in here, let's just do like an invalid username, an invalid email, and then like passwords that don't match, right? Okay, actually, let's do an @xyz.com or something. Yeah, so then we get these errors, right? Which is what we want. And that's from the Zod schema, right? So that's really good. So now we should probably worry about formatting here. What is new app about? The new app is a file uploader. So it's essentially a Google Drive clone. A very, very pared down Google Drive clone. And the project was given to me by the Odin Project. So if I go here and then file uploader here, this is where I got the project idea from. I kind of ran with this in my own direction. The Odin Project has a much older and probably simpler stack as well, but I'm kind of running with my own stuff here. So you can see this works well. So we can do a little, let's do a little bit of tailwind here to fix this. So we'll do flex. Justify center. I don't actually know if this will apply to, and then we'll do like a max width, maybe XL. Yeah, that's better. Okay, but why isn't it going to the center here? MX auto maybe? There we go. And give it like a margin top of like 8, something like this. And then for the content here, or actually for the form, I need to give the form some styles. So let's do flex call, gap 4 maybe, a little more, 8. Something like this. And I want the max width to be XL unless you're on like a small device. So if we do this, then now it should shrink. Yes. So if we go to mobile, it'll shrink the width. So that's good. Screen froze. Oh, got it. Hold on. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope I caught that quick. There we go. I appreciate your enthusiasm with that. But now if we make the passwords match, we shouldn't get an error with those, right? Theoretically. Did this not? Oh, so it's not revalidating everything. Okay, so this is interesting. So it's actually not validating these properly, apparently. The fuck? I did? Okay, good. Am I forgetting something with this? Let me just compare and contrast here. What am I forgetting here? from this one. ID, area invalid. Ah, yeah. Okay, I need to include that. HTML4. And then our name. Oh, ... field. I need that. That's why it isn't working. I guarantee you. It's not setting the values. And then aria invalid is going to be field state dot invalid, right? So that's for accessibility. So it's on our confirm. Put that here and here. Okay. Why did that kill it? I don't know. Oh, because I left the project, that's why. Okay. I just want to see if this works. Nice. It did work because it printed out our validated thing. But if we mess up one of the passwords, it'll say that they don't match, right? At least it should. Weird. All right. What's happening? Our apartment lock door is beeping. I don't know why. That's kind of weird. All right, let's continue on here. Okay, so that does work. It's not saying that our passwords don't match, though. I just want to fix this one thing, and then we're like basically finished here. I wonder if there was like a high level thing that I was missing. Oh wait. No, you got your server error here. Looking good, the site. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Venor. Yeah, so it's not telling me that the passwords don't match, which I find kind of odd. Oh wait, let's go to the sign up. Sorry, I was on the wrong thing. And if I go to my sign up, error path confirm. Oh, I need to give it a path, do I? Okay. Okay, so let's add that in and see if that fixes it here. So let's go back. And then I need to add that to the shared. So we'll say path confirm. So if we go to Zod and then we go to where was it? Dot refine. I forget what the confirm did. Or the path, I mean. So error abort. Okay, so the path, to customize the error path, use the path parameter. This is typically only used in context schemas. This will set the path parameter and the associated issue. Oh, okay, yeah, so that's what that is. Okay, so it's basically so that it goes to the So we'll do confirm, or password confirm. That's what we'll do. This needs to match this, right? So now that should work. If we rebuild that, so we'll do db, or not db, and pnpm run shared build. And then we do pnpm run dev. Theoretically now we should get that working, right? So if we do ben, and then ben add example.com, then password, then we do password 1, and then we should say passwords do not match, which is exactly what we wanted, right? And if we sign up, it worked, and then if we make this one not match, it'll say passwords do not match, which is exactly what we want. And if we do an invalid username, and we make one that's too long, I should say fewer than, fewer. And then we'll just rebuild that. So we'll say pnpm run shared build. And then that'll say should be fewer than. So if I go to here and then I do oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so these are all mandatory. I'm just gonna fill them out with random stuff. Yeah, it must have fewer than. Okay, that's good. So that's good. I think I want to actually make this min width a little smaller, like extra small. Yeah. Cool. I'm also gonna add a margin bottom 8 as well. So actually, let's just do an my 8. There we go. Nice. All right, I think that looks good. And then in the next stream, we'll hook this guy up to. Yeah, I could salty. So what I could do is let's do this here. As I put it in. So let's put that would be on the mode of the form for the React hook form. So if I change this from on submit to on change, I think that'll do it as the user puts it in. Right? If you see that, so right, or that's that. So you can do on change or you can do on submit. I only prefer on submit because I find that like it's kind of annoying when you're typing it. Why does it always redirect to the sign-in page? Because I set it up to do that. Basically, it's for I have an authentication context that if there's no valid user session, it redirects to the sign-in page. And we haven't fully finished hooking up the back end to the front end yet, so it will always do that because there's no client-side session yet. I was just curious. Yeah, no, that's what it is. React hook form, TLDR, it's basically just a wrapper, a validation wrapper around forms so that making these forms validate data to submit to the server based on these kind of shared schemas. It makes that whole process really easy, as well as the styling, because then you can consolidate like the field state into its own thing, and then like, you know, pass that into like a field error that gets rendered underneath, you know, underneath a field like this, and then it kind of makes that go red, and all these sorts of things. So these kind of controllers are like this sort of functionality wrapper that kind of makes implementing these common validation patterns a little bit easier. And it works with Zod as well. So that's the kind of type validator library that I use. So anyway, thank you so much for watching the stream. I got to run. It's almost 10 p.m. here, and it's getting late. So I appreciate all you guys watching. You know, if you want to see more of my journey, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. That would greatly support the channel. Join the Discord if you want to join the Discord. There's a link. Let me just post it here. And yeah, so I'll see you all Friday evening, and have a good night or morning or afternoon.